Hi, how's everyone doing? Everyone getting excited? We're getting ever closer to Christmas. Speaking of, we're making another baked good for Christmas today. We are going to be doing decorated shortbread butter cookies. It should be really fun. We'll hope they'll taste good. It'll be if we can get them to look as good as we hope. But no matter what, they'll taste good. And as my mom always said, that was really all that mattered. Let's get to it. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy. All right, we're going to start off by sifting our dry ingredients together. We have 4 cups of flour. We're going to do half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Alrighty. I'm going to move these off the side. We're just gingerly stirring it together, kind of just blend it, and then we'll set it to the side until it is time to put it in with our wet ingredients. All right, hang tight. All right, we're going to cream 4 sticks of butter. I know, it's a lot, but it's what we do. They've been sitting out for about an hour to get to room temp. Our oven is preheated to 350, so it's ready to go once we are ready to go. And yes, this seems like a lot, but fortunately we plan to give away a decent bit of them, so you don't have to feel as guilty because you're passing on all of that to other people. They would appreciate it. So you poke it out. To the side, but we're gonna make sure it is all fully creamed before we add anything else. But it is getting there, isn't it? Yep. And you probably saw me speed it up a lot. Sometimes it's once you've kind of done the initial bit, you can do it at a faster speed just so that the stuff that is creaming properly kind of flings itself off to the side. Really and truly what isn't getting there, see kind of where you are. You kind of push them towards the side to help them stay off. Get that on there. All right. Well, what have you guys been doing to get ready for the season? I know it's probably a bit different than normal for most. Still been watching your favorite Christmas movies? That's what I am doing. I have oh so many. Of course, I will watch them when it's not even technically the season. Before it's the season, a little after it's the season. Love me my Christmas, no matter what. But yeah, everything nicely decorated. Planning what Christmas will look like. With those you can see in person, and those it's going to be virtual. Making our adjustments, right? Alright, I'll add in 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Alright, we want to scrape our sides. Looking pretty mixed in here, but we also want to get that off just to be certain. And do it one more time through, and then we'll sift in our dry ingredients. Alright, one through, then we'll start sifting in the dry. Alright, good and mixed. What we were aiming for. I swear, half this video is just going to be, well, until we get to the decorating. Just me doing this. But it's fine. Y'all are fine. I know other videos speed it all up, but sometimes I think it's good to be reminded how long something actually takes to do. I'll make things that are so intricate and complex and it's a 3-minute video and you're like, what does it actually need to do? What do you actually have to do? What's it actually supposed to feel like or look like, smell like, taste like, that kind of thing, depending. Stuff you gotta actually know. I know our world is not one for taking time and slowing down as often as we should, but that's how I roll. Alright, so I'm going to gradually sift this out. Meant to go the other way. I need to put this on every time I'm going through. down after it's done. A couple more minutes. I'll pause you back. Alright, so it's all well mixed. Now we're going to get it ready to roll out and cut out our shapes. Alright, so we have floured our surface in our rolling pin. We're just rolling it. So we get it to our desired thickness. We're aiming for somewhere between kind of 1/2 centimeter, 3/4 of a centimeter, kind of around there. Okay. Got our cookie cutters. Make sure they're dry. Actually, let me grab the trays. I'm going to pause you guys one sec. Alright, so we're just pressing down firmly with our different cookie cutters. So we've got a candy cane, a snowman, and a Christmas tree, and then I'm just using a cup so you can have like an ornament cookie. So we're just going to keep doing that over and over again and put them on a cookie sheet that I've got lined with parchment paper, and then we'll bake them about, we're going to start at 10 minutes. This is from an old recipe book of my grandmother's, and it literally just says cook until golden brown. And it recommends anywhere, depending on your oven and whatnot, 25 minutes. Big range of time. We're going to start at 10 on them. And if they're not done, then we'll do it by the 5-minute increments, probably depending on how they look, just to be on the safe side. So we're going to do these, put them on the paper, and go from there. Alright, check back later. Alright, so we've been putting them in kind of tray by tray. So this is the first tray. Did it right around, oh, this is kind of zoomed in hard, huh? Right around 20 minutes. I think it was more like 18, and made my check. So yeah, so I'd say you need at least 15 depending on your oven, unless it cooks crazy fast. If it's a little slower, a little harder to warm up, then you're probably more in the 20 to 25 minute range. But there they are. Now we're going to let them cool, finish baking the rest, and we will decorate later after they have completely cooled. Alright, so we are going to make our icing now. We're doing royal icing. I know there are ways to do it totally from scratch, but I just bought the package. 1 pound of the royal icing powder. Oh God, faster than it needed to. Come on now. There it goes. All right. All right, and then per the instructions, we are adding in, you guys see? There we go. Okay. We're going to add in a 1/3 cup of water, and we're going to mix it. Now we're going to put some in a bag to line the cookies that we're lining. So check back 1 sec. Alright, so I know it's been a while since we filled up one of those bags with frosting and it got very messy. And I remembered that I'd seen this technique online where you, I'm not going to do it now, but where you put it in a glass and you fold it over so that you've got something stable holding it. And then we're going to need some of this for other things. I'm just going to put in a couple spoonfuls to start with. And while what we made actually 32 cookies, I'm just going to do a sample on each kind. So 1 candy cane, 1 snowman, 1 ornament, and 1 Christmas tree. Otherwise, you'd be watching me for a very long time. And while I want to tell myself that you've got nothing better to do, you probably do. So, all right, let me squeeze it down. And it's okay that there's not a lot, because we can always add more. All right, so what you're supposed to do, kind of get a good grip and then we're just going to outline our cookies. And it occurs to me you can't see too much what we're doing. I'm trying, guys. See, I'm just doing a whole outline all around the cookie itself, and then I can go in and kind of outline basic details on any of them as I want. But I want that outer outline first. We do that. And it can hurt your wrist, can hurt your thumb a little doing this. I've done a few different batches before, and I took a class actually first. It was a Mother's Day present to my mom. 2 years ago maybe. A local bakery does these for cakes and cookies. So I got her that and did it with her. So we learned a lot of stuff there, and while they're not perfect, we're outlining each of them. And then you can go through and kind of do, so like I'm going to do the hat would have its own just right across there for the snowman. I'm going to give him an arm here just because he'd have them. There's that arm. He'd have his head doing that. We're going to give him another just kind of body up like that. Let's see. Candy canes are going to have stripes. I'm going to actually maneuver these just a smidge, just so I can get accurate striping going for my candy cane. And I can just fix that one. And yeah, I've got a little zigzag, but I'll probably just make that whole section white then, and then it won't be noticeable. And just removed off there. And our ornament, there's different things we can do with our ornament. You can just leave it and fully fill it in. Might even do 2 sample ornaments, but I'm going to do where you see it's just kind of creating those stripedy shapes. So it'll do like that. All right, and then I'll get stuff ready to do the tree too while these dry, because you want to let these harden before you fill them, because otherwise it'll run. So we're going to let these get hardened, and we'll get stuff ready for the tree, and I'll outline the rest, and you guys will have to watch that. All right, so now we're going to focus on the tree. So you just mixed some green in with our frosting. Well, yeah, we'll fix that. And did the same thing. We have a different tip on this one though. One that's going to kind of give it a, hopefully, a pine tree effect. So just kind of back and forth in with it. Kind of give us our layers. Just kind of doing that, and clearly need to get this layer in between. See if we can, there we go. Not used this particular tip before, so it's kind of practice for me. Kind of just fill in gaps. Got kind of that pattern going, and then some fun sprinkles we'll use to create ornaments. Use one of the snowflakey ones as kind of the star at the top, and we're just, just kind of dropping them around, having some fun with it. And even some of the green, because they are darker green. So we're just doing that, and letting it become its own little fun Christmas tree. But just, yeah, just kind of sprinkling it all over the place and letting it just kind of set. So there's that one. Merry Christmas. Alright, we'll get on to these. Give me a sec. Alright, so we're going to work on our other ones now. We've gotten them deep dyes. We put just a little bit of water to make them a little runnier. So I'm going to kind of putting red in every other spot. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of drag it. But I wanted to remember, because I had that little one right there. So I didn't want to mess up. So what you can do, they've got fancy tools for this in the baking world to pull it to the edges. Or you could be like me and use toothpicks, because they do the same thing. You need them for other stuff, and it is way cheaper. Not as fancy looking, I agree, but to me, far more practical. Alright, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to pause and come back after we're done with the red stripe. Alright, now we're going to finish off our candy cane with some white that we have gotten to be just a little runny too. It's just the same process. Again, we're just using our toothpick like so to smooth it, pull it to the corners. Sorry, I'm not more entertaining. I'm focusing as I do this. Doing this can require multiple breaks. It's time consuming for sure. So if you decide to do this and you've never done it before, and you feel like, man, this has taken a while, welcome to the club. It absolutely does that. And sometimes we need just a bit more added in. Just to get it to fill. If it's not spreading as easily at some point, probably just need to add a little sprinkle more of water to get it. Because at some point it does, it starts drying, even inside a bottle. So you just gotta be aware. I always would rather add a little less at the start and have to fill in for pieces like this, because it's so just patched like that, and I don't want it to flood and ruin the design. But look at our little candy cane, ain't it cute? All right, time for our snowman. We can do a few different things with him. We're going to start by giving him a hat. Made a little thing with some blue. If it will ever come out. So we're going to give him his hat. And we gave him his body so we can do a few things with him. He could just have his whole white body, or you could give him a little sweater. Whatever suits you. I am going to do, excuse me, his whole body white. No, see, this is the part that gets kind of tedious doing it. Sometimes I'll leave this. Probably be what I do with the rest of them. I'm trying to stand up for these four for you guys. To you, or maybe you have a bunch of people helping you, at which point it goes much faster. So yeah, whole body white and put on some little button noses and things like that, or you can give them a sweater if you want. Up to you. I think for this one, my initial impression had been to do his whole body white. I might do others where he has sweaters. But I'm going to stick with my gut there. And doing so, I can kind of give him a little more there. And all that outlining we did earlier was to give definition when otherwise would not have any. So even though he is all white in that essence, still a little something. Right, I'll show you when we're done spreading it out. All right, so we've done that. Now I'm just going to add a couple little buttons. Got some cute little buttons. And I'll give him, I think I'll do the gold for the eyes. And then I think he needs a couple more, otherwise looks like he's making a weird little face. Let's try not to mess it up. There we go. Alright, so our funny little snowman. I think the sweater might be the better bet in the future. But wanted to see, wanted to try it out. Alright, and finally our ornament. Gonna do white on those parts. I'm gonna spread those out. I'll pause you while I... Okay, so I forgot we did a little red stripe in there. There's a few things we could do. Could add some more of our sprinkles if we wanted. Come on down. Just so little in there. Sorry guys. There were just a few little drops there that we could spread out. So we can do a few things. So you can do like that, just kind of swirl it, kind of a tie-dye effect if you wanted. See, like that. Just kind of drawing it. It's gonna be our Mod Podge, just a sample. Alright, try doing like a starry or a zigzaggy kind of effect. See, like that. See, like an X, like you're doing like a jingle bell. Just gonna flip it. Alright, you could do like that, kind of draw it down. If you had a lot of them, it actually looks pretty cool. Or you could just leave it as a dot. You like what your kids do for stuff. Then you could also just add some sprinkles onto it. Fun little patterns. Things like that. And we'll leave it. Alright, so you just got different things you could do, putting one on top of the other. Alright, I'm going to go finish the rest. Bon appetit, Merry Christmas. Frosting all 32 of them. And I just wanted to show, so I did do the sweater on the rest of the snowmen. I think they turned out real cute. Did the little hat, and then I, instead of doing the sprinkles again, because that just took a little bit of time, I just dipped the toothpick in the blue and drew little smiles. The ornaments all kind of looked a little different. This was just one that I did to kind of look like a snowflake. And then you've seen the tree and the candy canes, those all look pretty much the same. But there they are, just different samples. Bon appetit, Merry Christmas. I think these look good enough for Santa.